Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about the servlets. So basically a Java servlet is a server-side scripting program that runs inside a web container known as Apache Tomcat. Inside Apache Tomcat there will be some program or code using which we can generate dynamic pages, and it is used to handle client requests, process them and generate dynamic web content as a response to the users. And moreover, why it is important for us to learn about servlets is because it plays a very important role in web programming and web development. So it is very crucial to know about servlets as well. Before we move on, first we should know about these two things, that is static and dynamic page. So static pages are those which are pre-built and dynamic pages are those which are built upon user request. So basically when a user requests for Instagram page, that is called as a static page, and when a user requests for his Instagram profile, that is called as a dynamic page, because it has some kind of interactivity in it. So why it is called as a dynamic page? So what happens is, when we as a client send a request to the web server, now when we send a request, then it will check whether it is a static page which the user is requesting, or is it a dynamic page which the user wants. And it will check. If it is a static page, it will immediately respond to the client, and if it is a dynamic page, there will be some kind of other logic behind the server which will be running, like Tomcat, Apache Tomcat and other things. So then the Tomcat will check. Inside Tomcat there will be some program or code using which we can generate a dynamic page. And why do we need programming language at the first place? Because when we say we want to generate a page using some data, and that data is coming from a database, so we want to create a page by fetching the data from the database. In order to fetch from database, we need to use some programming languages, like server-side programming languages. It can be PHP, ASP, Ruby and even Java application. So there are n number of server-side scripting languages. In that, PHP is used. It is good for small applications and medium-sized application, and ASP is basically for Microsoft technologies. And as we talk about Java, the Java is basically, it has servlets as a server side scripting language. So it uses the servlets. And one more thing I forgot to mention is that this Tomcat will be present inside a web container in the server as a helper program. So whenever we need dynamic pages, it just runs this logic and then fetches the data through the servlet program, and then returns the response to the client. And then about Java servlets. If we want to use Java here, we are using something called as servlets. So servlets basically stands for, server basically stands for server plus applet. Whenever we hear the word let, applets or triplets, so let means components. Let is nothing but the components which are present, and the servlets reside inside the server, and the output will be on the client page. Servlet will create a page for you, and it will be written in Java. It will be coming from server side to client side. Whenever we need a dynamic page, we use the servlets. So my question is, why do we need server side extensions? So basically, why do we need server side extensions? Because whenever we use a normal web server, like which contains HTML, CSS and only images, it does not contain any type of interactivity or dynamic thing. So only we need server side extensions which adds extra logic on the server in order to be able to fetch dynamic pages. So yeah, that is why we need a servlet. So the another topic is CGI. It is one of the first solution for creating dynamic pages, and it could be written in C or C++. So there are many limitations for CGI, because whenever a client requests for some page to the server, it for every single request the server will create one process and then destroy it. It is very slow and not scalable. But what happens in Java servlets is that the servlets can create one process and perform multiple tasks upon the same process and then destroy it. But it is not the case in CGI. That is why it is slow and not scalable. And since servlets also uses Java as its language, so it is fast, scalable and robust as well. It is also secure. That is why servlets are more efficient and widely used. So this was the common thing before, but now nobody is using it. Now everybody uses servlets for its efficiency. Thank you.